Okay, so the first video really didn't work because it was so long and it took forever, so I'm just gonna do 2 videos. Okay, so I'm doing a video on the story about Brantley and how he was, came to be and everything. Well, before I met Landon, I was not happy with my life. I didn't really care about school. All I cared about was my friends, and I don't know, I just wasn't happy. Landon was getting in trouble as normal, like he used to, and he was running away. He was being the old Landon he used to be. He lived at his grandpa's in Clinton. He wasn't happy there at all. And he was just, doing him. Well, Eddie Island was at his house for a week or 3 days, one of those. He had to hide him there. And he put on Facebook, "What girl wants to come chill with me and Eddie?" And Sabrina commented on it and said, I will, but my friend needs gas money. And her friend was my sister. And he said, "Okay, well, I got you." Well, after work, my sister went and picked up Sabrina and brought them, and they went to Landon's. And Landon told Eddie, "Dude, something's telling me to go back with them. I think we should go back with them. Why not? Let's run away. I'll go back with them." And so they did, and I was sleeping, and I got a missed call like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and I called him back. It was my sister. And so I called him back, and she was like, "Hey, I'm with Landon Hicks." And I was like, "Why are you with him?" And when we were in school, like, Landon was like the bad boy. Everybody knew him. I didn't know him very well, but I knew who he was. And like, I was a good girl. I didn't do anything wrong. And this was junior high. And so I was like, "Why are you with him?" And she was like, "Oh, because he wanted us to come hang out with him and pick him up. He ran away." And I was like, "What are you going to do with him?" She was like, "I don't know. I'm going to see if Mom will let him spend the night." And I was like, "Okay." She was like, "Well, when Mom leaves for work, tell me, and we're going to come over there. We're at LeBlanc's, which is right there down the road." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And like, whenever she told me that, I was like, "Dang, I gotta get ready. Landon Hicks come to my house, blah blah blah. I gotta do my hair and makeup." And so I did my hair and everything, and I called him, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "So which one is Sabrina dating, Landon or Eddie?" And she was like, "Oh, she's dating Landon." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Well, who's Eddie?" She was like, "Oh, that's my baby," or something like that. I don't know what she said. I was like, "Oh." And so she gave the phone to Landon, and I was like, "Hello," and he was like, "Hey, you know me?" I was like, "Yeah, we went to school together in 8th grade." And he was like, "Oh, cool. Oh, you're pretty." And I was like, "Thanks." And Eddie's in the background going, "Hey, baby," and all this other stuff, because he's retarded. And so okay, where's that? Okay, so I was like, "Do y'all want something to eat?" And my sister's like, "Yeah, I'm starving." So I was cooking some eggs, and my mom left. So I called her, and I was like, "Okay, Mom left, y'all can come." So they came, and Landon and all of them walked in, and I look at Landon like that and turn back and keep on cooking. And like, I just remember the face that he had on him I just remember his face. It was just like, I can't explain it, but I just remember his face. And I said, and they walked back there, and I said, "Caitlin, are you gonna come eat?" And she was like, "No, I'm tired." I was like, "Seriously? I just cooked all these eggs and y'all are gonna come eat them?" And Landon and Eddie were like, "Well, we'll come eat them." I was like, "Okay." So they came there, and I fixed their plate, and I fixed them some juice, and I put it on the table, and they sat down, and they started eating. They're like, "Oh, you can cook?" Lana was like, "Oh, you can cook?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And he was like, "Oh, will you marry me?" I was like, and I just started laughing. And so I sat down, we just started talking, we hit it off, like we talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, and we just talked about everything, and who everybody we knew, and everything else, and then he was like, "Eddie, you wanna go play basketball?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, dude," and so we all went outside, and Eddie started playing basketball, and Landon sat down with me by the on the swing, and Eddie was like, "Dude, they're gonna play basketball with me," and he was like, "Dude, I use all my energy to come out here. I don't want to play basketball." He was like, "Nigga, you gay," and and then we were just talking again and we talked for like an hour. And he went inside, and Eddie was like, "Dude, Kelsey, go tell him to come back outside and play basketball with us." Shh. Basketball with me. And I was like, "Okay." So I went inside while he was messing with Sabrina, and I was like, "Hey," Eddie said, "Come back outside and play basketball." He was like, "Oh, wait a minute." I was like, "Okay." So I walked outside. I said, "Eddie, you know he's gonna come outside whenever you're inside and you're done playing basketball. He's gonna say, 'Let's go play basketball.'" He was like, "Yeah, I know." And so we went inside, and he comes out and was like, "Hey, Eddie, let's go play basketball." And he was like, "Dude, I just came back inside." And he was like, "Oh, well, we just started playing around in the living room and everything. We were talking, and then like my sister was awake, Sabrina was sleeping, Eddie was awake. We were all awake except for Sabrina. Sabrina was sleeping. And so what were we doing? So we went to the bedroom, and I was like, "Hey, can I pierce your ears?" And he was like, "Sure." So like we were sitting on this chair, and like I was sitting on one arm on the chair, and my legs were across him, and my legs were on the other arm of the chair, and his hands were like this over my legs, and like I pierced this ear, and it was easy, and then this year I got it through the first hole. I couldn't get it through the back, and so my sister was like, "Okay, let me try." So he sat on my sister's bed, and I grabbed his hand like this, and I was like, "If you need to squeeze my hand, you can if it hurts." And that's when he kind of knew that he was flirting with me, or that I was flirting with him. And then after that, well, Caitlin, I was sitting on the bed, we were just talking, I was just singing to him and everything, I was just being retarded, and, Caitlin was like, "Kelsey, you need to quit." I was like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "You need to quit, Sabrina's gonna be mad at you." I was like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "Your face is glowing, like, you're glowing." I was like, I was like, "I'm not doing it." I was like, "He's doing it too, that's not fair." And she was like, "Well, you need to quit. She's gonna kill you, you better quit." And I was like, "I'm not the only one doing it." She was like, "Well, you need to go talk to him." And so he was like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" I was like, "I'll talk to you later." So I brought him outside. I brought him outside, and I was like, "Okay, we've both been flirting with each other. You know that." And he was like, "Yeah, you've been flirting with me." I was like, "Nah, you've been flirting with me too." And he was like, "Yeah, I have." And I was like, "Well, what about Sabrina? She said that y'all were dating." He was like, "No, I'm not dating her. I don't know what she's talking about. I never asked her out. When did I?" He was like, "Eddie, when did I ever ask Sabrina?" And he was like, "Dude, I don't know what you're talking about." And so he was like, I was like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" He was like, "When she leaves, I'm just not gonna talk to her." He was like, "I don't like her like that." He was like, "I was just, messing around with her." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Well, I know that's mean, but sorry." I was like, "Oh." He was like, I like you. He was like, "I've never felt for a girl this fast. I like you. I really do like you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, I like you too. I like you too. And so, shh, 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 shh. Sabrina was still sleeping. What's your name? Sabrina was still sleeping. And we were in the kitchen just playing around and everything. And then after we told each other we were flirting with each other, we kind of started, like, getting closer together. Like, we were kind of, you know, not, like, we were hugging each other and everything. And I was sitting on the counter, and he, like, was sitting, like, in front of me, like, to where I was almost, like, on his back. My jaw hurts. And, like, and he was like, let me pick you up. I was like, no. He was like, yeah. I was like, no. And, he ended up carrying me around the house. And we were playing in the living room, and I put the sheet over his head. And, like, I kind of kissed him through the sheet. And it was kind of like a reaction. Like, I didn't even realize I was doing that. It was just a reaction. Like, I just kind of put my face in his. Well, we were in the kitchen, and he grabs my face and pulls my cheeks like that. And he quits, and I take his cheeks and I pull him to me, and he kept on going, and we kissed. So that was our first kiss. And I just remember, like, I was like, I wonder if Eddie saw, and that's what was going through my head. And so after that, we went to the bedroom, and Sabrina had woke up, and I was sitting on the bed. I was laying on the bed on my stomach, and he was sitting next to me, and I was looking up at him, and he was looking down at me. And we were just smiling at each other, and Sabrina pulled my sister to the side and was like, I see the way they look at each other. They really like each other. I see it. They don't have to tell me. I know they like each other. I'm going to just lay off, blah, blah, blah. And I was really surprised. And Lena was like, oh, dang, that's kind of awkward. Well, we brought her home, and that was so awkward. And, we went to the lake after that, I think. I'm pretty sure. And we taught Eddie how to swim because he couldn't swim. And he jumped off a tree. And he jumped off a tree the first time he tried swimming. And he almost drowned and landed, and that was funny. And so after the lake, we left. And me and Lena sat in the back seat every single time. And we just, like, we'd sing to each other. And we'd dance. And, like, we were just being silly. And after that, we went back home, and we stayed the night at my house, and I was like, and we were having fun. We had fun that night. Like, we were dancing and just being retarded and giggling, laughing. And the next day, we all woke up. I did my hair and my makeup. I was just, you know, doing the normal thing every day. And, well, I was sitting there, and like, Lena and Caitlin, I went in the back for a little bit, and I was like, I wasn't thinking nothing of it. And my sister started cooking some food, and she was like, Kelsey, go get my makeup out the bathroom. And I was like, okay. So I went and got my makeup got her makeup and turned around and came back, and they all just started running after me. They were like, turn around. And I was like, oh my God, what? And I turned around, and they're like, go in the bathroom and look in the mirror. I said, oh my God, what's on my face? What's on my face? And they're like, nothing, just look in the mirror. So I looked in the mirror, and I was like, what? And I was like, and it was a red lipstick. Kelsey, will you be my girlfriend, Landon? And that was like the cutest way I've ever gotten asked out. I was like, oh my God, yes, yeah, I will. I was like, this is so cute. And after that, like, we were dating, and I know it was kind of early, but, anyways,